Hey everybody! Welcome to another episode of Who's That Anime with your host Steve and Colin, delving
Hi.
in, delving into the deluge of Pluto even further this week with episode 5. Who did it? Was it
Who- who-
Gusis? Was it Atom? Was it Tenma? Was it Darius? I swear he's a pop singer.
He is. He was the Darius Dinesh. I think you're right. I have a feeling he died. He was Scottish. Yes, he did in fact die.
Oh, Scottish with named Darius.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Born
Oh,
in Glasgow.
where all good singers come from.
Yeah. What's that happened to him? Uh, what the hell is that? Oh, accidental death through inhalation of chloroethane,
All right.
which is apparently used in physiotherapy to treat neck pain.
Wow.
That sucks.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be that old, would he? No, 41. Shit, he was not old.
Oh man,
Damn,
you're younger than me.
that's crazy. Shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
Pluto.
Pluto. Um. Yeah, we were talking about Pluto and
Mm-hmm.
talking about the thing. All right, Steve.
Go with it.
Describe this episode in 5 words.
5 words. Fuck. Uh, hatred,
Mm-hmm.
murder.
Uh-huh.
Um, flashbacks.
Yeah.
Um, uh, uh, death
Uh-huh.
and I don't know. Flowers?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. What about you? Go for it.
The life cycle of humans.
Is life cycle one word?
Yeah, life cycle's one word.
So
In
that
my
was
head,
4 words.
life cycle's 4 words. What?
The life cycle of humans. That's 4 words.
Oh, lives.
The life cycle of human lives.
Yeah.
Amazing. That has some real I am unable to can energy that I'm enjoying. Amazing. Well, uh, yeah. So episode 5
Mhm.
starts off with a flashback.
It does. It's basically this guy is running away from. I don't know. Do we know it's Gishis at this point?
I think we do know it's Casita, and we know who the person is as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's the brother of Adolf,
Yeah.
and he's running away, and he's like, "Oh, I'm bleeding out here, man. You can't. You don't hurt me." And he's like, breathing
But what if
hard.
I did?
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, oh, and then the whatever he's holding drops the bag he was holding, and
Yeah.
out comes a robot, a small robot.
Robot parts, anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then he got real. Then it kind of
got,
cuts.
got, got real mad, and then it cuts away.
He cuts away, yeah.
Uh, and yeah,
And
Adolf is continuing to be like, hey, so you murdered my brother.
sort of. he's in the car and Gashis is driving recklessly.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you can't be doing that, man. I know you killed my brother, but like, don't don't need to do this. Just take me to the safe
No.
house. I need to get to the safe house, see my family. And it's like, okay,
And he does. He
he,
does get there.
yeah.
And then he leaves him there,
And he's
which he
like,
shouldn't be doing,
yeah.
but he is gonna do.
Yeah, he's like, I'm leaving you. I've got something to do for an hour.
But I'll be back.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like not that fussed about that really, because we find out that actually that robot that he beat to death had had maybe left him some more information, like, hey, there might be a weapon around the safe house that you should totally use to murder Gesicht.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then so Gesich goes away, and then he comes into this place, and the guy goes, "Oh yeah, he said you back."
Oh, yeah, he's going to see Brow.
Yeah, goes to see Brow, and then Brow's like,
Brow the murder robot.
I see you remembered now. The feeling of
Yeah.
hatred."
He's like, yeah, you're just like me.
Yeah,
Although we've well established that Brow felt nothing.
yeah.
He just did it
He
because
just,
he could.
yeah. Well, that's what he's said, but he's burning with hatred. It's like, you are just like me.
Yep.
And there'll be conversation there about hatred. I think that's about it. Can't
Yeah,
remember
it
much.
is. And then we cut back to the kid who's arrived at the safe house with the mum, kind of exploring around and enjoying it. And I think Adolf tells his wife about the fact that he's been told he has to kill Gesicht.
Oh, not that, and also the fact because she's like,
That and everything else, and all the
yeah,
racism and
oh yeah, she's like, what the hell's going on here, Adolf? Why are we being whisked away from our house?
yeah, he's like,
We had,
well,
I got a story for you, darling.
what if I told you about the racist cult that I was a part of? What if
Yeah,
I then told you that they were trying to kill me because I was trying to kill the robot who murdered my brother?
yeah, and then she's like, you know what? Hey, robots malfunction, and your brother was a typical man. Because I think it goes into a further flashback of
Mm-hmm.
what, and you finally find out why everyone thinks he was a despicable man. And apparently he was going around killing
Holy fuck.
kids, robotic kids.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
That is like, that is some dark, dark stuff.
yeah, it wasn't just robots; it was robotic
It was
kids.
children.
Yeah,
And they do talk about, they have said about previous about how, he's like, your brother was an awful person.
hmm.
And in this instance, she's like, you know what? Maybe not a bad thing that happened. And also, she does say, actually, I think she says, it's like, she doesn't think that Gazeke would have done it out of hatred because he's a robot. He probably did it because he malfunctioned.
Yeah,
But that's not what the flashback suggests. The flashback definitely suggests, like, and I guess, like, of course,
hmm.
any relatively empathetic person, robot or not, from what we've seen, would have reacted to someone who had basically, in effect, thrown the body of a child at you.
Yeah, I think he dropped it. I thought.
Oh, I thought he just tossed it in front of him. But yeah, no, maybe you're right. He drops it. Either way, he effectively has just dropped a body, a corpse,
Yeah,
in front of him, and he's like, yeah, like that maybe would have elicited some sort of response.
yeah. So she's basically saying, I don't know how much did we get that information at that point, or is information a bit further on. This bit's intersected with a lot of flashbacks of his brother.
What was happening? Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we're also going back and forward to Brow
yeah,
talking with Gesicht, and like, uh, yeah.
Yeah. So so he's talking about. So basically, yeah, he gets put on. He's there, and it had like people come to identify their kids, robots. It's like
Hmm.
yeah, and then there's one robot that's like able to or were they human? Because it goes to the next one, which are robots.
They were the people next door were human, identifying, I think, a human child.
No, that was a.
It was a robot child. Sorry,
It was another robot child.
it
Yeah,
was. Yeah, yeah, that's
because
right.
they adopted it, and then the other robot's like, yeah, I can understand. I can't feel that, but I understand where they're coming from. And it says it was our child. Since we were able to adopt, um,
Yes.
we applied for it, much like a Brandon story, because he was like, since we were
Yeah,
able to do it, we adopted.
it was a program post the war, I think, to
Yeah,
help AI acclimatize to normal life.
yeah, I think so. And so they did, and then there was I was like, yeah, so there's lots of sadness essentially, because fucking hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think it's at this point, like in between all these sort of conversations that are ongoing, because it kind of cuts. Because he could obviously, we see more of that murder
Mhm.
play out, and the likelihood is that it's like, oh, like this is it probably is out of hatred because of what he's doing to his kind, that it happened, and
Yeah,
maybe he deserved it,
yeah,
which seems to be a commonly held thread by his sister-in-law.
yeah. His sister-in-law, and also the leader of the anti-robots cult. He
Yep.
did not like him either.
He felt he was also a monster,
Yeah,
and he doesn't like robots.
yeah, he didn't like it that shit.
Oh crap.
So basically, it alludes that Kasich gets put on the case, and the leading detective of the case was like, wait, oh,
Well,
this might,
I was gonna say Brow offer like gives Gusitis like, hey, you know, why don't you attack him? Why don't you do that? He's like, no, you're fine.
yeah, did he?
I don't need that.
I don't remember that bit.
Eh. But then it's the bit that cuts to uh Hercules,
Oh no, so
isn't it?
well, possible, but there's the talk about the chief and put on the case and says, I think this might be a thingy. What do you call when you know what people get taken off court cases in all those movies? A breach of conflict,
Oh, conflict of interest.
conflict of interest. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're a robot, and it's about robots. So and he's like, no, it's fine, sure, it's fine. And then you can kind of see him getting more and more annoyed.
Uh,
I'm pretty sure that's probably further on this, but I figure we'll
I
just
think it might be.
cover it because it just kind of
Yeah,
escalates there.
it does. You're right. Um, but yeah, we've done that. So the Brow and Gizzy conversation is
Yeah.
over. We've seen more of the flashbacks explaining what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and
It goes
then we cut to
Hercules
Hercules.
and Epsilon, and Hoffman is getting picked up by the authorities because they now know that he's with them.
Yeah,
But
but Hoffman's going to a safer location.
yeah, and I don't know. He has this conversation with Epsilon where he's talking about he's a robot of war.
Yeah, well, he was a conscientious objector. He didn't want
Epsilon.
any part of the war. Yeah, Epsilon didn't want any part of it.
Yeah. But Hercules was the robot of war.
Hercules was there. Yeah.
He's built for fighting. I'm built for fighting, so
Yes.
I'm happy if you leave. He's close. I can feel
Well,
them.
yeah, they can sense. They both sense the electromagnetic signal approaching.
Yeah,
Um,
and so and Hercules talks about how when he was in war, most of his fights were done by this was it aerial robot?
so, uh, right, I have a really interesting thing about this one,
Uh huh.
and I don't,
It's not just
I don't.
Macbeth
Well,
or is it Hamlet?
like that,
Macbeth.
Macbeth.
Yeah.
That's a really good bit. Actually, it's
Yeah.
really quite good. But he talks about how Epsilon himself is, has the ability to fly, and that's where he excels.
Hmm.
And then he talks because he said you and I were never close. Like they he kind of talks very specifically to Epsilon. We never really understood each other. It's like maybe you made the best reason to stay away from the best decision to stay away from the war. But then he goes on to talk about that aerial robot.
Hmm.
I was like, is that Epsilon? It can't be, surely. Seems really weird.
Uh, no, he's meant to be away from it all. I think it's just.
No, I know that's the thing. Like but I guess like I don't know. I almost felt for a moment it was like there was something a bit more nefarious going on there, where they had used his consciousness or something in the same way that they would use use Hercules' body and part of the suit and things like that,
Mhm.
but flashed his memories or something like that, because they weren't going to take no for an answer. Like, there's nothing ever that we don't ever cover this in this episode again. It's just a throwaway conversation, but I thought a lot about it.
All right, okay, yeah. I mean, potentially. I'm sure that this whole thing will boil down to like semantics of robots maybe not having the rights that they did because I don't think they did during the war.
No, no, they were there. They weren't. They were conscripted because they were just told to be there. Like,
Yeah,
you're being sent to fight. That is your purpose here.
but Epsilon
Um,
somehow managed to object to it.
yeah, it was interesting, and yeah, that the whole, like you say, that there's that whole scene where it's they had worked like as a team.
Hmm.
He had like looked after him, but it talks about how that particular robot or AI had kind of, it changed him and it broke him.
Hmm.
And like you say, that kind of Macbeth, he's like, just he comes over to him, he's like, hey, yeah, you okay over there? And he's just like, nope, it won't come off. He's just
Yeah,
like rubbing at his hands, and you're like, oh no,
he's just
that's
washing
not
his
good.
hands, and he's like,
That's
"You all
not
right?
good.
It won't come off.
No, it won't
It
come
will.
off.
It never comes off. It
It's
never does."
quite, it's very heavy handed, but I really liked it. Like,
It,
it was very cool. Um,
there's another
but
flashback back scene with Hercules just on top of a mound and all the enemy robots charging him and just "Rah!" and then rips one head off
yes,
and then starts controlling it from inside and shooting
he
everyone down.
does, because he's a badass.
Because he's a
Um,
badass, man.
but I think that's the thing that made me think about it more, was that like it was almost like Epsilon had been programmed to believe that he was a conscientious objector, when in actuality, like, his AI broke. He just couldn't cope with the knowledge of what he'd done.
Maybe, but everyone else also falls to believe that he is.
Yeah, like like I say, I don't know. It just seemed really weird to me that there was this parallel
Well,
immediately, like, there.
later on, because Hercules goes and fight Pluto,
Hmm.
and at the end of it, Epsilon gets like the flashback of that scene in on him, and he's like, "What? What the hell's that?"
Yeah,
Uh,
so like
so
I do feel that there's something to it.
mhm, maybe,
I do feel like, and that to me was like, because Hercules is seen to sort of like hate Epsilon, not like hate him, but they don't get on. And I think the natural reaction there is because Hercules was such a big hero of war, and he was like such a big part of that fight, and Epsilon was like a very vocally against being a part of a war.
Yeah,
Um,
but
and then
the conversation there is also, it's like Epsilon is going away. It's like, I guess you don't actually like me type thing. But then
yeah,
it's like, well, maybe you're right, but at the same time, like you said, it's maybe you did the right thing of not being in that war because it has changed it all. Because like
and
that's what
but
it does.
and I think, but that's the thing to me is that it's almost like the thing he hates about it is not that he wasn't there; it's that that's what it's done to him.
Yeah,
Like that there's I don't know. Like I am potentially reading way too much into it, but for me, like when I was watching it, there was just a really big coincidence between the parallels of the two characters. It
I,
just seemed odd.
I think that's what it is, man. Remy, man.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, so and then I think Hercules dons his suit and jumps into the fray there, right? Or
Yes, and Epsilon agrees to be like maintain a distance.
yeah, he said,
Um,
I'll maintain 3,000 meter distance or something, and watch you from there. It's like that's good because I'd rather you watch than be in the fight because yeah, I'll fight alone best type thing,
yeah,
and also fight best with a spectator, even if it's just you
and
pacifist.
again,
What do you call?
that to a pacifist. But again, to me, that is the thing of I don't want to be responsible for this again.
Yeah.
That's I get. It's just another thing that ticks with me. Is like that's a very like to Hercules' character in particular, who is very guarded, obviously has like is a lot deeper than at surface. Uh,
Hmm.
so yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Um,
Yeah. So anyway, Hercules is fighting away. And they have a big fight, and then they fall into the water, and
mhm.
because Hercules goes, that's not going to fool me, and he jumps into the maw of the beast, and then they both plunge into the water, and then big shards of his suit kind of flies off, and he goes, "Oh, that's Hercules' suit? Oh no, that's not right," says Epsilon, and
Oh,
then he looks down and sees the headless body of Hercules moving toward the sea. He
yeah,
jumps into the sea. He's like, "What the hell? That's his human body." And then Hercules there was just like, "I'm gonna break this horn off you."
yep,
And
it's cool as shit.
yeah. And I can't remember. I'm sure there must be some scene, but then the horn just mutates and wraps around Hercules' body. And he breaks, and Epsilon's like, "Oh, right, now I can. If I go down now, then I can help out." And then he's like paralyzed by fear, I think. He doesn't know what it
Yeah,
is, but you get paralyzed. Oh no, I can't move. Too much electromagneticness.
yep,
And then Hercules gets destroyed. He even loses his eye in his suit.
he
Pretty
does.
cool.
Yeah, is there not like a little flashback
I think there is.
of Darius though?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, in the court case.
Yeah,
Where he basically just contents the court and he just
yep,
send him back.
and uh, he asks people to bring him crayons.
Yeah, so some human rights says, "Oh, could you I'm a human rights activist. Are they treating you unfairly?" It's like, "No, but you can get me a packet of crayons." So yeah.
And
Um,
then
he also goes on rambling about Pluto. Oh well, Pluto will save you.
yeah, yeah, he does.
Seems like a madman. Anyway, so he gets taken away.
Yeah, and they do bring him his crayons, and we do see that he has drawn a field of flowers similar to the same as the
Mhm.
robot in the underpass that Uran had seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
He has his. But this was like in the middle of the night, and the guard's like, "Hey, it's lights out, dude. You can't be doing this."
Yep. And he's like, no, he's like, yeah, there's gonna be a flood. Uh, and Pluto will be the only one to survive.
Yeah, yeah. Mad ramblings, as you think.
And then
And
per Hercules, I think, is about to meet his end.
yeah, I think he does.
It's
Uh,
uh it's a shame. It's like I'm glad they gave him like a Brando level of exit that feels right for the character.
oh, he
Um,
wouldn't have any other way because he couldn't be losing to Brando
nope,
because
absolutely not.
that's what he says. He jumps into the fray. He's like every time you fought Brando, every match came to a draw. Neither was won, and I wanted to beat you one day,
Yep.
but now I can't. So here we go.
Aw.
Um, yeah, so you get to see more of the body as well. Because before,
Yes.
like one time in episode 3, you saw like the dark horns arise, and then you seen like a black arm
Hmm.
in this fight, and then the horns as well. Because he was wrestling the arm as he falls into the sea in his suit, and then
Yep.
it's all losing. And then
Oh, Epsilon tries to
what's
reach
that?
out to Gesicht to tell him that what's happened and that Hercules has been killed,
Yeah,
but he notices that the like Gesicht's blocking incoming signals.
yeah.
Um,
He's not responding, and he seems so pissed off about the guy that he's looking after.
he's worried that I think the realization has hit him that the reason he has not been able to remember that period of time is because he's killed someone, and there's obviously been some thing happened to allow them to make that go away for whatever reason.
Yeah, yeah, and he's realized, and then he realized that he can't, and then anyway, so he returns back to the safe house and gets reprimanded eventually. Actually, I think does he not go up because Adolf is looking for the weapon
He
and
is,
he
yeah.
can't find it next to the bush, and then
Yep.
Gazis appears because the other guy goes, "Hey, look, we had a look at the security camera in the restroom, and yeah, we saw one of the dudes just hanging around there. So we've got to move you on again. This is
Yep.
not safe." It's like, oh, okay. And
Yeah, that's fine, I guess.
then Zeus appears, and then that's you can't be doing this. You can't. This is abandoning your post. It's
Yep.
getting you're getting disciplined about this, mate. Um, and then the other dude comes along. You see the assassin hiding behind a tree, and then they get moved on, and then Cassis
Hmm.
got the whole family in his car driving, and then the other squad cars behind him,
Yep.
and he's I don't know what's Adolf is like Adolf and the son are all kind of like saying things like the son's saying some stuff, and Adolf is then well not this robot. He does kill, and then because he was the son was like, "How are you going to stop the people?
Without
Because
killing them.
without killing them, you can't kill people." And then he was like, and then the wife was like, "Shut up, both of you." Uh, and then Cassius looks behind and goes, "Wait, the squad car's not there anymore." And
Nope.
then Adolf goes, "Ah, shit, I know what happened. They got a cluster gun."
Cluster cannon
Yeah. So, oh, okay.
crashes the vehicle, and it's the person who's been sent by the cult leader,
Yeah.
effectively, who's come to get them.
Well,
Uh,
Adolf essentially goes to because he goes to Adolf, pull that lever on your right now. I was like, okay, and then the family and all that is is saved by the Gassis, and he's like, because the cluster bomb hits the car and explodes.
Yep.
But they're all safe.
They're all safe.
And then Adolf's like, where's my family? My family. He killed my family. And then the other guy's like, I'm here. And I'm going to make it look like you killed things. Because he's like, I realized once I couldn't find the weapon that you weren't actually wanting me to kill him. You're just going to kill me and the family and make me look like the person that did it.
Did it. Yep,
And
yep.
Spot on, Adolf.
Well done.
Now, go and take your medicine. And then Cassis appears and is like, get behind me, Adolf. Shoots the weapon. And Cassis shoots his weapon. And everything explodes and he gets ripped shrapnel because it's a big cluster bomb.
Yes.
And then he survives and it just goes, oh no! My rocket launcher is empty. How can I do that? And he's like, I either repeat his sleep or I'll read your rights.
Yeah. Sleepy time.
I don't know what happens. All I know is he's in
He knocks
bed.
him out with sleeping gas.
Yeah. And then Adolf has got like maybe a different opinion of Gassis now, where he saved his life.
Yeah. I think Adolf thanks him.
Mm-hmm.
And, despite, all of those awful things I said. And I think it's quite interesting at this point as well, because Gesicht this is where he's getting taken away, I'm pretty sure, by the ambulance or something like that. Gesicht asks him, like, is like, does hatred ever go away?
Yeah. Can you tell me if it ever disappears? And there's no answer.
No. And then where are we now? I think we skip over to Uran and like people talking about the fact that she's kind of, is it in school? I think is where they're talking, because they're talking about her change, that she's changed, and obviously they think it's, and they're probably right, due to the loss of her brother Atom.
Oh, 100%. And there's like, oh wow, look at her AI, so
advanced.
Yeah. It's like due to the lost thing, and then the head teacher guy comes in and is like, oh yeah, they can feel, and then some other robot person chips in and goes, yeah, that's right, she's totally.
Oh, that's the desk clerk robot that's in the teacher's lounge.
Yeah. Says, yeah, that's 100%. That's we can do that. We get sad about things. And then she's just sitting there on this weird swing thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the swing had ropes and stuff, but
no, it's just a swing with nothing attached to it.
Anti-grav swing thing. And then she gets up because she's like, oh, there's someone sadder than me out there. Or she goes out and finds this boy who's been beaten up and stolen. It's like every day I can't live with it. I'm going to kill myself. It's like, oh, but you can't, because there's nets.
There's a net.
Stop you doing that.
Because he's being bullied.
Essentially, yeah. And
just wants it all to stop.
Yeah. But she's found a cat before that and gives the cat to the boy. He goes, oh, you can go find some milk. I think you can get some over this way. And then she runs off to find another person that's just sad.
She does. This is kind of an interesting thing, because she's seeing someone who has like very deep emotional wounds, and she's kind of, I guess, assessing her own behavior that she knows is different. She's like, I wonder if I would feel like that if I was human. You're like, oh,
to throw my life away just because the times are hard. Yeah. It's very sad in that sense.
And then my favorite bit, or one of my favorite bits in this episode, is where she goes to that person that's an old guy who's really sad because he's lost his wallet, and she's trying to like, here, this is yours, and he's like, oh, that's great, thank you. It's like, oh, great.
And she doesn't even stay there. She runs away again. She
runs away
on a quest to like make everyone who's sad happy.
I really like that. I don't know why. Like that cheered me up. It'd been a rough episode.
I mean, that's probably the point of that one is that she's
Yeah.
feeling that way. But then she goes, oh no, I thought someone just as sad as me over here, and she's in a graveyard, and the person's left, and she saw flowers on the grave, and that grave is Temio Tayo
Tobio
Taito
Tenma.
Toyo Tema.
Tobio Tenma. Who
Tema
is
Tayo.
Atom.
Tema's well,
Well,
Temio.
who Atom is a copy
Maybe.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you cut to Professor Tema appearing at the computer
The
place.
yeah, he's back at the center again, and Ochanamisu's like, holy shit,
Yeah,
you're
well,
here.
he's been trying
He's
to
been trying to
contact
get in
him,
touch with him. Yeah.
and people are like, we don't know who this guy is, and the robots are like, oh, if you haven't got an appointment, you won't get in. It's like, oh, I'm pretty sure I'll get in, mate.
Yeah. It's like, don't you worry. Can we also say, if you're watching the dub, Tenma is voiced by Keith motherfucking Davis.
Oh yeah, who's that?
Aww. He's in loads of things.
I know,
Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog. He is Goliath from the Gargoyles cartoon. He is one of the voices in Saints Row.
okay.
He's in tons of things. He's in Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. Keith David is awesome. Where is his IMDb? It's going to be better at remembering than me.
Yeah.
He was in They Live. He was in Armageddon. He was in The Thing.
Yeah. Wait, They Live.
Yep.
Who was in They Live?
Frank,
Which one's Frank?
the black guy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, like the other lead with
Yeah.
What's his name?
With Rowdy Roddy. He's
Yeah.
also the president in Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, that's where I recognize his
he's-
voice from. Then
He's Grimlock from Transformers Earthspark.
is that? Is that
I
the
don't
new
know.
one?
Watch that
Is
one. I don't know. Maybe.
That's not what I watched. I think maybe.
He's in tons of things. Tons and tons and tons of things.
Partly so. Yeah.
I know his voice anywhere. Literally anywhere. So recognizable.
Yeah.
He was in 13 episodes of Community as well, apparently.
Was he?
Yeah, apparently. Trying to see what the main things he's been in with episodes, but he did less TV work back in the day. Yeah, probably more film work, I think.
Ah.
But yeah, but a very prolific voice actor.
Yeah. Seems that way. Oh well.
Oh, he was in Pitch Black.
Pitch Black.
Yep.
With Vin Diesel.
With Vin Diesel, yep.
What was he?
Oh, he was the voice of Spawn.
He's the voice of Spawn.
Yes, in certain things. I don't know if it was in the movie, but he was certainly at some point the voice of Spawn.
Could be the cartoon series.
Could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, Keith David's awesome.
Oh wow. Anyway, yeah. So he comes in and goes, "Yeah, I was the head of the place." I was like, "What? Are you? Wow." And then what's his name? Fake dad.
Ochanamisu.
Yeah, says, "Oh, you're here to help me save him." It's like, no, he's dead.
No, here to say goodbye.
I'll say goodbye.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's harsh. And then I think he has a flashback of him having a meal with Atom.
And this confirmed my suspicions from the previous episode. It's 100% this.
Yeah.
It's a really sad scene.
It is because Atom appears and goes, "Oh yeah," and he goes, "So what you done today?" "Oh, I was tidying my room, and then I found this encyclopedia book, which I got interrupted from doing that, and
Yep.
I saw this butterfly, and I was thinking it'd be really cool to see, and then and how's it feel? Food?" It was like, "Oh, it's good," and it's like, "Huh." You know, you know, the real you know you're not the real one, right? But I can always try to be him. So yeah, so he would never tidy his room, never do any studying,
He
never
hated
do,
that book.
never like that book,
He hates this food.
and he hates this food. You're not him.
That's so devastating. Because as well, like obviously for Tenma, it's that like it can be almost like it as much as he wants, but it'll never be it. And
Yeah,
for Atom, it's like, oh, but I'll just change it all. And it's like almost like he also doesn't want that for Atom either. It's like, no, that shouldn't be how this is.
yeah, yeah,
You should either be him or you're not, and you're not.
yeah. You can't be him. Yeah, but then I think it cuts away from that, and uh, eventually he gets fake dad gets a message from the scientist says, "It's Dr. Timmer, sir. He's working on it. He's a mad genius."
He's been in there for like nearly a day straight.
Yeah,
Uh, and then when he comes out, um, he did actually, which I thought was kind of, or at least from what little we know of Tenma, he was like very positive about all the efforts that Ochana Misu had gone through to like actually get Atom back up and running.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
because he's like, I wouldn't have been done anywhere near as quick as this had it not already been for like all of your work before.
yeah.
So,
But he still won't wake up, and then
nope.
so he goes on the story of how he has created the perfect mind,
Hmm.
um, and he basically embedded the basically the same amount of personalities as people in the world,
He,
apparently.
he basically, yeah, he's it's effectively put in 9 billion possibilities,
Hmm.
and it has to assess all of those
Yeah,
deeply.
yeah,
So,
and he couldn't, but it would never wake up. And
and that
then
was he had been paid to do that by
a private citizen.
Abdullah.
No, we don't know that yet.
No, do we not know
Just
that?
private citizen, he said.
Hmm.
I think it's kind of odd, but it's implying.
He's definitely
Because,
done done. It's to do with the whole war and everything, and
well,
Bora. It's
well, that's,
all
yeah, because
intertwined.
it is implied that something's happened. Because, what's his name says, one thing we do know is it looks like you gave your AI out to these people. Did you do that? And he says, I don't know. What I do know is I done this.
Yes,
And
yes.
and the only way I can get it to wake up was to apply sorrow to it.
Yep. I needed it to understand not good things.
Yeah. So you applied sorrow to it and it woke up. And
Hmm.
then what's his name says, "Wait, is that what you're implying that we've got to do to Atom? I can't possibly do that to him."
Yep.
Yeah.
Although he does mention, he doesn't know what happened to the to
The,
that robot.
yeah, he doesn't know anything.
Um, and Ochene Mizu does ask, yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
is that the implication here?
Yeah.
But like you say, is that whole piece on its own does seem to suggest that there's definitely something going on here with Abdullah and everything else that's going on.
Yeah. They're all weirdly interconnected. So
He does ask him about Goji as well, actually,
yeah,
because he asks him if he knows him, and he's like, no,
I have
don't
no
know him.
idea who that guy is. Yeah.
No.
And then I think cuts back. People try to talk to because he's just kind of left straight away out of the hospital without finishing all the repairs.
Mm-hmm.
So Hoffman's being come back to get the repairs done. Don't know.
Oh,
I think.
there is one bit. There is another bit of the flashback.
Uh huh.
Uh, because uh he tells him, what is real. He says he knows he's not real, and he's like, the real you was called Tobio. And then Tenma basically like compare, like he does all those comparisons. I've kind of jumped ahead on that, but then he asks, does he not ask something like, "I wonder if the real Tobio would hate this"?
No, it basically thinks that the real Tobio hates him.
Yeah. He's like, would he hate? He must hate me. He's like, well, no, he can't. Can't Jack? He's dead.
Yeah, I mean, no. Not what he meant. He meant he did hate him
No.
because he didn't like anything, and a few times he disappeared. They weren't very um wasn't wasn't very like happy times for him because he
No.
just sins against them. Anyway, yeah. So after all that, I think it cuts back to Gusis, and he's basically going somewhere to get messages about people, and he's arrived at the prison.
Mm-hmm. The one holding Darius.
Yeah, and he goes in and he meets gets say, hey, yeah, I'm here to see Darius. As arranged. It's all right, yeah, wait in meeting room. We'll do it here. And he's like, wait, we're doing it here? Yeah, yeah. The president said you can. You've only got it because the president said he can. It's like, no, wait, this isn't good. Can't be doing it here. So he has it, and then he's just asking things, and Darius is on a screen, just basically saying things. It's like, no, this is all can be edited, so I ain't having it. And then this kind of storms out into the prison,
Yeah.
and they're like, wait, you can't be doing it. And he's like, yeah, fate of the world. And they're like, all right, there you go. And he's there talking to Darius, and Darius is all,
He's talking about Bora,
yeah,
and like he's talking about the robot, a powerful robot with a body born of hatred. And he points towards the drawing
mm-hmm.
of the flowers and talks about Pluto.
Kingdom of Pluto.
Yeah, and obviously that kind of gets Kasich going, huh? That's not good.
Yeah, and then he bites his tongue.
He does. Wow, rough. Obviously, the guards come in and intervene because they can't let him die.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is when Epsilon turns up.
Just at the prison, yeah. Says,
Yeah,
I can reach you, but I need to talk to you. And excellent.
got some shit to show you.
Yeah, so this is Hercules. Hercules is dead.
Yeah.
Was it? He then shows like a picture to him.
Yeah, it was the an image he because I read back over the notes and things like that. It's like an image he felt during the struggle.
Yeah,
the electromagnetic waves.
Yeah, and it was a man who looked like the homeless guy we saw before, happy in the middle of sunflowers.
Flowers.
Which dum dum dum.
Shit.
Seems like the same image that he was in when he went on that fake holiday to Spain.
On the plus side, it does reveal to us basically that after Darius's little note there of like pointing at the kingdom of Pluto and the flowers, and now the image of the flowers being received as part of that electromagnetic signal, we now know for sure that whatever is in that tornado is Pluto.
Oh yeah.
Like that's confirmed now. Finally, for the first time, that feels like absolute confirmation, which I think
Uh,
absolves Gesicht.
nah, nah. I mean, you saw the big black armor, and they all stated that, and that was stated earlier that was Pluto. Because you saw
Oh
that.
no, I like they said that it was Pluto because it looked like him and it felt like it, but this is the first time like we have like proper, I guess, more definitive proof that it's
It's
Pluto.
it's getting there. It's getting there.
And
It's still
like I
pretty
say,
cease. Cease.
I I don't think it can be Gesicht because he was definitely somewhere else at that time. In fact, he was with Hoffman
Oh no, it's
receiving treatment.
split split personalities, man.
Well, I mean, actually, that's a valid point considering the fact that you know, Goji can just kind of go wherever the hell he wants.
Yeah,
Um, it could realistically be almost anything at that point.
yeah,
But that's where the episode ends.
it does. That's it. It's been
Oh,
another wild ride of badly describing an episode of Pluto.
jumping all over the place,
Yeah,
but
but
eventually getting there.
it's a choppy one. This one was.
I think it's less choppy than the previous two because
Yeah,
there's less ground to cover.
yeah, yeah. It was just more just going back and forth to like flashbacks and
A lot of different
stuff.
scenarios in this one.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, how do you rate it, Colin?
that's good. It's good. It's just it's going somewhere.
You still in the
Still,
same?
it's still late, man.
I think this one's a 9.
You liking it?
Yeah, it's just it's building that just that back up everything that little bit again because it takes a lot. Like there's always going to be a bit of suffering. I think when you have to try and fit a lot of content into a short amount of time, and in this one we kind of resolve quite a lot. There's a lot of really interesting stuff
Yeah,
that comes out of it. The kind of the whole thing with Adolf and Hercules' death and the whole narrative around Hercules' time during the war being kind of, I suppose, repositioned to not a person who just loved every moment of being there, but being a person who ultimately really never truly wanted to be there and just took advantage of the time he was there because it was all he could do. Um,
yeah, yeah,
it kind of and the term I'm going to use is not correct, but it kind of humanized him a lot more. And like you had more context around Pluto and more context around I think the scenes with Tenma and Atom are brilliant. They're
yeah,
just so melancholy and just with that like juxtaposition of like Atom's just absolute optimism to be like whatever they need them to be, but
yeah,
at the same time just that knowledge is like it's not going to work.
yeah. Well, that's it. It's, I mean, a lot of this episode is basically trying to humanize the whole probably show is trying to humanize all the robots.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms, like for example, like Cassis has hatred in him,
Yep.
and that's like, oh, that's one of the things that Tenma was like. They need to be able to do this to be like more human, and they're slowly getting there. So it shows that the evolution of robots is happening. Uh,
Yes.
which is either a good thing or a bad thing in a sense,
Well,
because like,
like we also get a little bit more Brow as well. I think Brow is just such a fascinating character.
mm, yeah,
It's a bit Hannibal Lecter-ish, you
uh,
know.
yeah, it's like just kind of locked up there, not to move with a big spear. And
It's just so interesting the idea of like you say is the Gesicht, it's about hatred and just that like I can't believe you've done that to robots, and it's that kind of equivalent of seeing that from the that perspective for the first time and feeling that rage build up, whereas Brow is just that nah, just realized I was like able to do a thing.
Yeah.
So I did it. Jeez. It's so unhinged. But it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, he was. And then you obviously have like the robot. It was essentially like I can't get rid of the stain.
I love that as well. Like I say, it
Yeah,
feels like a little bit heavy handed, but at the same time it is it's a good scene. It's a good
yeah.
flashback and very illustrative of like I suppose the idea that robots and humans aren't that different. That's the ultimate part here, I suppose, is coming to that idea of like where the evolution of robots is for them to be more like humans.
Mhm.
And I suppose even to a degree, more often than not, we see greater degrees of empathy and humanity from the robots in the show than we do from the humans.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's it. I think that's probably part of the what the show's trying to show. Well, that maybe it's
It's
better to be a robot with and not have all the negative emotions. But at the same time, they say, but that's impossible. You've got to have the negative emotions to actually live. Can't have any of this
yes,
happiness all the
and
time.
that's all a very fascinating thought experiment into like what it means to be human,
Mm-hmm.
um, what it means to have intelligence and free will, and I guess is yeah, it's really good shit.
I think that's
And
I think that's
yeah,
what this show's all about, man. It's all about trying to explore that and but like have a murder mystery on the rampage of revenge, which is
totally.
another negative human emotion.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But we have reached the end of another episode, um, which means you've been listening to Who's That Anime, a podcast about anime, which can be found where all good podcasts can be found. Our home is at anchor.fm// Who's That Anime. Um, if you want to support the show, you can. Leaving a review is a great way to do that. If you've already left a review or can't because of how you listen to the show, then a great way to support us is telling someone about the show. Tell a friend, just spread the word. There is another way now to help support the show, and that is through our Patreon. We don't really ever want to have ads in this podcast. That is not a thing of like me saying, "I don't make us do it." We're not going to do it. We don't want ads in this, and we thought, hey, maybe offer people another way to support the show. So the option is there now. Um, if you do want to support the show in that way, you can get early access to episodes and early access to our new podcast, which I will also plug in this point, is 5 Minute Fusions, a journey through everything Dragon Ball. We've been super excited to work on that. It's, you know, the few episodes have been out now. You'll be getting 2 episodes a week, which is super cool. And if you're a patron, then you get episodes a couple of weeks early, which is also super cool. We have a Facebook page, that's facebook.com// Who's That Anime, where we post the episode releases and the occasional anime meme. We have a Discord group. You can go to that in the show notes via the link. We have a YouTube channel where you can find us at youtube.com and search for at Who's That Anime. This is where Colin painstakingly puts together the video versions of these episodes. You can also find the audio versions of these episodes here too. So don't worry too much if you don't have any other podcatching software. You can do that on YouTube. Colin and I also occasionally like to play video games. Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hail payman. And if you want the archives of all of those live streams and things we've done over the years, you can find those at youtube.com by searching for at couchfuel or at hail payman.
Mm-hmm.
I had to clear my throat there. Whew, did it.
Yeah, you did it, man.
Oh, I did it.
Another episode done.
Oh, nearly. We're more than halfway through now, Colin.
We are more than halfway through, yeah. I mean, that's more than halfway through end of the last episode, right?
No, we were exactly halfway through at the end of last episode.
Oh. Alright, well, we're more than halfway through this time.
We are now definitely more than halfway through.
And it's gone down. Gassis has overcome his rage because he really wanted to hurt Adolf for
But he
being
didn't.
linked to his brother. and he didn't. And then you got Hercules, who wanted to fight again with Brando.
Yep.
Yep.
We're quite a few robots down now. Because we've got no Mont Blanc, we've got no North 2, Hercules and Brando are gone, Atom's gone, which means you only have Epsilon and Kasich left.
Oh. Oh.
Not many.
How are we going to do it then? What's going to happen? Is
Gonna be tough.
Is Epsilon going to like don some super armor, and then
Like my theory.
like you think maybe
Maybe. No, I don't know.
Anyway, with that note and that thought, we'll catch you next time on Who's That Anime? Your podcast hosted by Steve and Colin. Same anime time, same anime place.
Bye, folks.
Bye.